Now that we have seen the basic data types in Python, let's move into performing some operations with defined variables and look into some formatting that we can do. So starting with a very basic operation. So we already saw that we can assign values using a tuple and assign, say, 1 is being assigned to A and 2 is being assigned to B. And of course, we can do basic math within Python just by typing it. So say C equals A plus B. So we are making the summation of A and B and assigning the result of that to C. So if I print, say A, then the string plus, and then B, then the string equals, and then C, I will see that this is the value of A, this is the plus sign, this is the value of B, and then equals, and this is the value of C, which we know 1 plus 2 is equals 3. Some operations will have some compact forms to it. So for instance, if I have A equals 1 and I want to add 2 to A, so A equals A plus 2. And then if I want to take a look at the value of A, so print A after addition, and then have the value of A. So we know that the value of A here is 3 because it starts as 1, and then I add 2, and that gives me 3. Whenever we have this structure where I'm just adding some value to the same variable, we can write it in a compact mode, which is the plus equal. So this is just telling me that, well, I have A and I'm adding 2 to the same A. So this should give me the same result. And we can use other operators to do the same thing. So let's say A equals 1, and then I do this and A becomes 3. And let's say that now I want to just multiply A by, say, 3, and multiplication. If I run this, now A after multiplication is 9, because at this point here, A is equals 3, and then I'm multiplying A by 3, which gives me 9. So this is a compact form of applying operations. Let's take a look at some convenient ways of formatting values. So far we've been doing things like, say, C, let's define C and D to being some numbers. So C is gonna be this number with 3 decimal places, and D is gonna be this other big number with 1 decimal place. So if I just show them on screen, that's the value of C and D. So far, what we've been doing is to say print C equals and then comma and just using C in front of it. But if I want to format the value of C, I can add C to this string. There are many ways of doing it. One way is to create a placeholder on this string for formatting. So let's remove this and use the placeholder. So the placeholder here is defined by curly braces, and then I have to name it. In some instances, we do not need to name it, but in this case, we do. So let's say it's C. And when I'm using a named placeholder like this, I need to indicate that this string is being formatted. So to indicate that, we just add a F to the beginning of the string. So this will write C equals, and then this is going to be replaced by the value of C, and then we have comma, D equals D, the same approach, and this part is going to be replaced by the value of D. So now we can run the cell and see the output. So that's how you make string replacements or formatting with keywords. One nice thing about this approach is that now we have access to some options. So for instance, if I want to format the result of this to have the number of decimal places that I want, I can use the same semicolon and then dot and then the number of decimal places, say 1 decimal place, and then F, which is one type of formatting, and this will write C with 1 decimal place. So let's run that real quick. So as you can see, it rounds C to 1 decimal place. I could type 2 and that would use 2 decimal places. Let's go back to 1. F is one type of formatter within Python. There are others. F is probably the most common, but for instance, we can use a exponential formatter with 2 decimal places, which is indicated by E. If I run this, it's gonna format D with this exponential formatter. So now we have E is showing 1.00, the 2 decimal places, to this exponent, which is 4, because it's 10,000. So this is another way of formatting a Python string.